Afternoon, esteemed fans. Trust we are getting on well. How is the day? Yes, we are here this moment, of course, to discuss very important issues here in this moment. I welcome you especially to this great broadcast. We're here to discuss very pertinent issues. Of course, bordering on the latest developments of most recent, this has or more or less become a norm in Nigeria, and people tend to be comfortable with certain issues that unfortunately have left us worse than we ever imagined. You can't imagine a secular state or supposed secular state that practice freedom of religion. People are being killed on the basis of their religious faith or profession, and yet there seems to be no deterrent to the moderate killers of these innocent uh, religious faithfuls, regardless of whatever may be your religious affiliations. Nobody has the right to unfortunately take life out of any man on the basis of religious fanaticism. But that's have been, of course, tolerated over the years in Nigeria to the extent that it has been recorded by established institutions that over 52,000 Christians has been killed in related religious related crises or issues. And of most recent is Ola Dipe Oluwatosin in Ogun State, who went out on the 27th of December to preach the gospel of Christ, which he believed or professes to believe. But unfortunately, the tout or whosoever resisted such, infringing of his freedom of expression. You see? And they brutally killed him. And the police, according to reports, were witnesses to this. And the police, in a bid to rescue this man, could not take him to the appropriate quarters to receive some medications to save his life. And it was later discovered that his body was dumped after his demise, and somewhere, which is quite unfortunate, his phones and the other uh, belongings was stripped off from him, and that is just it. And that seems to be the case. It is quite sad and unfortunate. But sorry for the interception. Okay. Yes, that is just the situation I'm trying to get. Okay. Okay, let's just see the report here, according to the Nigerian police, that the Nigerian police embark on proofs over officers' alleged conspiracy in preacher's murder. That is by the August Church Police Command. They have set up an inquiry over the supposed uh, demise of this young preacher who only came to express his religious rights as enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution, but unfortunately, he was murdered in such brutal manner. And this one, of course, fingering some police officers. That is to tell you the state of Nigerians affair. that police that should have been the people to protect lives has been linked to several killings of innocent Nigerians, and that is the sad realities. And what does of that implies that we are no longer safe. Nobody is safe. There was a time when, if you have an issue or you're traveling a distance away from your home, you'll be asked to locate the nearest police station to pass the night over there. But that has changed. In fact, going to police to make inquiries or to even pass a night, in fact, is more dangerous to sleep than to sleep in a bush, in a forest that you don't know. Honestly, that is quite sad. Okay, let's see what really transpired here. The Ogun State Police Command said it is investigating the alleged conspiracy of some of its officers in the murder of a young preacher, Onadipe Oluwatosin, also known as Peculiar. You see, who was discovered dead on Ijebu Ijesha Road. You can imagine that. You can't imagine that. You can imagine what Nigeria is turning to. This one is not in the north. The radicalism, Islam radicalism is no longer an issue that should be discussed. This is now down the southwest, where a preacher was murdered in such a gruesome way. And now police officers were linked to this heinous crime. What is the essence of taking the man away if not for safety? Why didn't you take him to an appropriate place to take proper medical attention? Since that he has sustained several injuries and bruises, an rod was hit on his head. You know what that means? With a pool of blood, you whisked the man out to a non-destination. And what we could see is just his dead body, his deceased body, lying lifeless. And you are trying to cover up for such. I mean, this is quite sad. Well, let's continue. Oluwatosin was allegedly beaten by a former park chairman. Can you understand that? A former park chairman. Tout, Aburu. You see, when we have institutionalized criminality, thuggery, you see, it appears that they are now the boss of the town. They take laws into their hands. You see, extorting the motorists, the tricycles riders, and all that becomes the order of the day because it's a very easy way of making millions. See, most of them driving tear nylon cars, tear rubbers. It's quite unfortunate. So what offense has Oluwatosin committed? Well, according to an eyewitness, Oluwatosin was preaching at Ago Iwoye Park on Sunday, okay, December 17th, 2023, when he was confronted by the park chairman for disturbing his peace by expressing his religious uh, faith. He never forced the chairman of the park to accept. It was just persuasive. He was not coercive in his approach. So why is it disturbing your peace? Are you the only one in the park? You can imagine the height of rascality being expressed, being exhibited, where, I mean, thuggery, impunity have been enthroned. They appear to be the lord of the regions, the lord of the community. You see, what has brought us to this lowest ebb? That is quite sad, but that is happening. What is Nigeria turning to? What is Nigeria turning to? Who has brought Nigerians to this destructive and demonic bastard character states that people has no longer life, have no longer respect to life. The sanctity of life have been desecrated. People don't even respect God again. This man is speaking, is preaching based on his convictions, which is allowed by the law. You have no right to take his life under any disguise, under any guise that is disturbing your peace. When have you become the enforcer of the law, not enforcement agents? You see, sometimes these people even threaten police officers to remove their shirts, to remove their clothes. That is how powerful they have become. I was somewhere and one of them were just wrecking, threatening a police officer that I will remove your clothes, this clothes now. I will put a call and your coat will be removed. Which means they are not just working in isolation. There should be some top hierarchy officers within the police force, security force, that is also backing them, that is giving them the morale, the effrontery, of course, to behave such reckless and think that nobody does, they're above the law. But that is quite unfortunate that such innocent life should be lost in such a very brutal nature. Honestly, it's quite disturbing. Imagine disturbing your peace. What is the work of Abu? What qualification do you use to work? In the sense society, such nuisance, constituting nuisance to the community, to the society. The transport system should have been computerized, organized in such a way so that human beings will have that sense of organization. But such is not the case here because some people have been empowered and used as targets and for election rigging and assassinations of their supposed, of course, political enemies. That is what a society becomes, a product of what they have tolerated over the years. It is quite sad. If you're joining me now, we are just discussing what is Nigeria becoming, honestly, and that is quite sad. Please kindly hit the like buttons and share this video so that we'll get as much as many, of course, could join in this discussion, and you could also interact via the comment sections is allowed, and let's know what is your own perspective regarding this very important and very pathetic, of course, experience. In fact, every day Nigerians, the story about Nigerians or the happenings within Nigerians left people's life battered emotionally, psychologically, battered, shattered. You begin to hear unimaginable things, and you can't even imagine the possibility of this barbaric, animalistic, and the demonic tendencies being expressed across board. The same Nigeria, you can imagine, where the federal government trained 177 youths in smartphone repairs, in smartphones, smartphone to repair phone. You use 5.9 billion. Who does that? I mean, how does that sound to your ears? How do you greet such a development? It is quite sad. It is quite sad. It is quite unfortunate, honestly. There is endemic corruption, there is abuse, there is recklessness, anarchy expressed in different dimensions, in different areas. You begin to ask 77, 177 youth were trained on smart food repairs, and you say you use 5.9 billion to train them. Hey, which means more than 33. Let me, okay, if just do the calculation, you see what that means. More than 33 million for each person. 33 to 34 million naira was used to train someone not in Harvard University to become a professor of smartphone repairs. You just train them not to manufacture phone, to build an industry. I mean, uh, and and a tech industry where people can design and manufacture phone. Let alone you are just doing a repair, a technician, and you're using 33 to 34 million, 33 points, almost 33.5 million for one person to repair phone. You are training the person. You can see how Nigeria keep declining, descending abysmally. That is quite unfortunate. And those people, they will come out and brag. They have the money to throw away. They have the money to intimidate Nigerians, innocent or common Nigerians, who unfortunately have tolerated this for long. What the chairman allegedly ordered his people to chase Oluwatosin away. When Oluwatosin refused to leave, a former park chairman intervened and struck him on the head. You can understand that with a heavy iron rod, causing him to bleed. As if that was not enough, the witnesses also claimed that the police officers who arrived at the park did not take the deceased to the hospital for emergency treatment. Instead, they allegedly moved him into their van and drove him away to the spot where his body was later found. You came for a rescue or whatever mission, you saw someone whose life is being threatened, and you could not do what is necessary to save a bleeding man. What you did was quite unfortunate. What it is, according to the police, is they have set up the panel of inquiries. But just as usual, you know what Nigerian system is. What will they come out with? Other inquiries, investigative panel that will have been set over the brutal killings of innocent Nigerians by the same security operatives. How many of them has been prosecuted? How many of them? Possibly 1 out of 100. If actually as such has been established, it is quite sad, but that is the reality. According to the witness, the official threw away Peculiar's phone and staged the scene, okay, to look like a car accident. You can imagine. It is only in Nigeria that I've seen that a police can just accuse someone, lay an accusation on innocent person, and use a weapon to place beside the person and tell him that you committed a crime. Many innocent people has been killed innocently, have been jailed innocently, has faced prosecution of what they a crime they do not know about. No, is that a country one should desire? Is that how a system should be run? When everybody does what he think he can do, he think he can take advantage of others, of the vulnerability of the common citizens, and you think that we can build a system that could be trusted, that everybody could be uh, in there too. I mean, that is quite unfortunate. It's not. It is quite unfortunate that it's not possible, honestly. And we do hope that this there will be, of course, justice for Oluwatosin, who unfortunately, without committing any crime, was brutally murdered. What is the CAN, Christian Association of Nigeria, doing? In the past, what have they done over the brutal killings of Christians on the basis of their religious profession, religious belief? Or are they lesser citizens of this country? Are they not protected by the provisions of the Constitution that allows free expression of one's religious belief? Supposedly as a secular state, but in practice, it is not. If it were to be the opposite religion, I mean, the other religion, the Islamic religion, you kill any member of Islamic religion while preaching, why I mean praying, conducting his rituals of oblation or whatever it is called, you killed him, the whole community will be set ablaze. No, now what makes Christians lesser citizens? What makes them people that should be taken to the slaughter on daily basis? And the Christians or they are busy fighting for money, fighting for position, fighting for recognition, fighting for dominance. And your supposed citizens are being killed, and you can't question the veracity, the effrontery of those who decided to murder these people. Many have been killed in Abuja and in the north. Nobody does anything. Even the cans, chairmen of the branch chapters of the northern, of course, regions have been killed, and nothing happens. Everybody goes his way because it doesn't affect me directly. Well, let it be. The same Apostle Paul was a preacher. He wrote most of the epistles you call the New Testament. When he was wrongly jailed or imprisoned, and even after they prayed and the prison doors were open, that was divine intervention. He refused to leave the prison yard. He said, no, you can't treat me like this. You can't just allow me to go like this. I'm a bona fide citizen of Romans. You dare not try me like this. You dare not insult my person. You dare not insult my intelligence. You do not insult or infringe on my fundamental rights and just ask me to go. No. He called the prisoner warder or whatever they are called. No, I can't live like this. I must live celebrated because I am a Roman citizen. Where are the rights of Nigerian Christians? Where? Their rights have been swallowed up. Their rights have been exchanged by those who call themselves the leaders. If Apostle Paul, who is more spiritually inclined, who experienced divine intervention in matters of such concern, said, I am not walking out of this. Yes, divinely, I have received intervention, but I will not walk out. I must call your attention. You dare not insult a Roman citizen. You dare not insult a bona fide citizen, a Pharisee, and think you can just push me out like that for me to go. No. But here, Christians were just, I don't know, I'm ashamed. You call yourself leaders when the fundamental rights of the citizens, irrespective of whatever religion it professes, is being trampled upon. You can't stand up, you can't resist that, you can't call for an inquest and prosecution of the culprits and make sure they are brought to book to face the consequences and to serve as a deterrent to others who might want to behave the same manner in the future or even at present. Today, this Oluwatosin is killed. Who knows when? Who next? It is quite sad. So not until we continue to demand justice, not until we continue to address this abnormality, this imbalance in the system, Nigeria is doomed. Because if this continues, one day you'll be chased out of your mansions, out of your cathedrals, by the same touts. There is possibility of that coming true, but that would be a sad experience because of negligence over issues of importance, of concern, because it doesn't affect me, because it doesn't touch me, because it doesn't get to my person. So I should keep mute. For crying loud, we are all humans before any religion. So why should any man take life you cannot give? It is the inalienable right of humans to life. The right to life is given by God, not even by the government. It's the right given by the creator, the almighty creator, not even by the government. So even the government has no right to take the life of the innocent citizens under any disguise without any repercussion. But that is it. You have set up an inquiry, investigations. Who has confidence in such? Because this is not the first time. I'm not saying that it could not be, of course, thorough investigation and prosecution of those who are involved in this dastard act to serve as a deterrent. But the reality, you will see a call will be made. This is leave this thing. Don't go away. Don't touch this man. He's my boy. Don't forget about that. Who said release that man? Is order from above. Where is above? So that's why I even myself have no confidence in whatever investigation or inquiry panels or that may have been set or whatever. These are mere exercises, possibly in futility because the past has not yielded any positive result. Otherwise, this that wouldn't have been a repeat. How dare you? Who are you? In a sense society where the rule of law, where adherence to the rule of law is tenable, to take the life of your innocent, fellow innocent citizens on the basis of religious intolerance, and you still have your own life, it is quite sad. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. But that is the sad reality here. Well, I leave you with those thoughts. That is quite sad. Today is Oluwatosin. Tomorrow may be the turn of the survivors of today. So what are we doing? Everybody says it doesn't matter. I've not seen CAN president or CAN chairman or branch chairman or regional chairman coming to condemn this. A single soul matters. This innocent young man has future, has prospects, has aspirations in life. have loved ones, brothers and sisters, parents. How could you just take cut his life short? You said he's disturbing you, disturbing your peace. How? When when does expressing your religious affinity, religious expression becomes public disturbance? No, you should interpret the position of the law that contra this, that nobody can express his own religious belief in the public. It is quite sad and quite unfortunate. But that is the sad realities here. I leave us with this provoking thoughts, but the reality is we have lost another great, great man, another great preacher. How can we continue to lose our loved ones? I mean, it is quite sad, it is quite barbaric and unfortunate. And in fact, I can't imagine that. I can't just imagine the mental health of those policemen, of the people who asked his own gang to lynch this man. In fact, they have lost their sanity. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Well, we'll follow up and see how the police set commands, how they will take serious these investigations and what, of course, might be their findings. It's quite unfortunate, but we look forward, of course, to following the development because it is an interesting issue, a public interest, to know how this ends. And of course, the Christian Association of Nigeria must rise at this time to address this consistent, incessant, brutal killings of the Christian faithful in Nigeria. Not until this is drastically addressed with all sense of urgency, commitment, we may not experience the true peace in this part of the world. Meanwhile, the Ogun State Police Command, in a statement on Wednesday, okay, said that it has taken the complaint into consideration and pledged to investigate Oluwa Tosin's sudden death. Well, that is what we've been hearing. It's not the first time. Okay, but then we can stand up for the truth, for justice. It can just start from this Oluwa Tosin and demand for justice. Let the right thing be done to serve as a deterrent to further occurrence of anybody who may want to, I mean, take laws into his or her hands. Nobody is allowed under law to take the life of any citizen under any disguise. Any guise, honestly, is quite fortunate. But it's, I, of course, we come to this the end of this brief broadcast until further developments, until we get to know, of course, the outcome of the supposed investigation as they have pledged to investigate. How long? What is the time bound for this investigation? And of course, what are the modalities? I hope that will be made public for the public will know uh, how far and the level of commitment to bringing justice to fall, so that justice will be seen, perceived by all to have been done. in this matter. Remain blessed and good night.